I survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. This video is an amalgamation of all my previous videos all put together into one full movie of all 100 days all together. Technically it's 102 days, but we're not going to talk about that. I appreciate all the likes and support I've been getting on the past videos, and I'm going to put out this full video here as just an easier way to watch them all together, and just something to have on in the background. But I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to let the video get started. Welcome to my 100 days hardcore Minecraft world. I'm the Ashton27, and it's been a while since I've played Minecraft. I've never messed with Trials or Pale Oaks or Happy Gas, none of the new stuff. I last majorly played around Caves and Cliffs 2, but I also used to play on Bedrock. I've definitely used Java over the years, but most of my time is on Bedrock. So there are some tiny things here and there that are different to me. I want to spend these 100 days and whatever comes after that, bettering my building skills, my redstone skills, and much more. I'd consider myself an okay builder, but a bad redstoner, so I may not get to the whole redstone part for the first 100 days. I would like to improve it though when I get there. I'm also new to recording, so I found myself forgetting to record sometimes, or other times my software would just stop recording and not tell me. So there are a little bit of jump parts or half days. I do apologize. I'm not trying to hide anything, I'm just new to this. It gets better around halfway through. Also, the first 13 days or so have no sound because my face cam was recording a lot of clicking of keyboard and my baby cooing. So I muted those days until I figured it out and I stopped it. But without further ado, let's get right into day 0. So to start off, I obviously had to make the world, and this is going to be hardcore, obviously. So I loaded in, hoping for a halfway decent world. Spawned in, saw not a lot, just some cave, some cliff action, and I saw an underwater portal. Said I'm gonna go check that out. Saw a nearby village, so I decided to head into the water and see what the portal had. Had some okay tools, nothing to brag about. A fire aspect sword. And then coming up here, I saw my first Nautilus. I haven't played with them yet, so I don't know much about them. I started putting that sword to good work, getting some meat just to keep me alive for a couple of days, hopefully, so I don't have to resort to bread and starting a farm immediately, but just hopefully enough to last until I can maybe even get a villager trade. Then I head up to the village, and it was not a very good village. Had some hay, which was a nice thing. I know I could trade that or food if I need it, but I don't think I'm gonna. I harvested a tree, made a crafting table so I could make my first tools, and then I got some stone just to upgrade my tools to something a lot better, hopefully, and enough for a furnace and all that down the line. Made my set of tools, just, one of everything. I was attempting to ring the bell to lock the villagers in their home, but I realized that only a couple really listened, so I grabbed this composter for later. I waited till night when everybody was sleeping, and I came in and locked them all in their homes, and just to keep them safe until I need to trade with them. And then I followed that guy right there into what was the best home of the village anyway. I'm gonna call this man Jimbo. Me and him are gonna be good friends. I locked us in, and we are gonna hit the hay and call day 0 quits. And it was an okay day. Started the day off getting the rest of the wheat I saw last night, and I was gonna trade it to Jimbo here. I got him a wheat trade, and I started trading away and buying all the junk food we had just to level him up, so I can hopefully get a decent food trade out of him. Bought all of his cookies, all of his pies, all of his suspicious stew. I tried one of each. It was jump boost and weakness, which I don't really care for either of them. Leveled him up again. Got a golden carrot trade on day 1, which is pretty good. I went and harvested some logs just for some basic chests and, all the starting off stuff. Just making it so I have somewhere to live and, I don't have to... I am going to just bum here with Jimbo for a while, so I went out, got more trees just to start a fence up, because, you can never be too safe in these first days. So I hit the hay here, and That's gonna call it on day one. Pretty boring day. Fence, and even more fence. Day two, I'm taking all the wood I got, and I'm just trying to make myself safe here on these first couple of days. I don't really have the greatest armor. Well, I actually don't have any. I have stone tools, so just trying to play it safe here. And as the great Luke the Notable once said, you're not safe until you have a wall or a fence. And obviously, him being the creator of the 100 days, he knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to listen to the man, and I'm going to start a fence, hopefully. And, just trying to save me and the villagers as best I can. But, sometimes the beginning of these days can just be, pretty mundane. It's a lot of the same stuff. Villagers running outside of the border while you're trying to fucking put it up. And, just all the same stuff as usual. I'm just trying to keep us in here. Hopefully just put us safe, and that's it for day two. I realized that if I didn't want to go into a cave quite yet, I spawned near some stony cliff sides, and they have some resources, so I was going over to this one behind the village just for some iron or coal, which there was plenty of coal. This one had no iron. There was some copper I just kind of ignored, but coal early is okay because you need it for your furnaces, you need it for torches to keep your land lit up. So I started heading back towards the village, towards spawn, to check out that cliffside and hopefully get some iron, which this one had some, not a whole lot, but there was some iron, more coal, a little bit of iron hidden in this little beachside, cliffside cave deal. And I killed this pig just for fun. Didn't really need the meat. I don't need the meat from this guy either, which broke my sword, which was okay, whatever. Made a furnace to smelt up what little iron I got. And after finding it in my inventory, I threw it in there. And then I remembered about copper armor and copper tools. Completely forgot it was a thing, otherwise I would have never even thought about copper. But I wanted to check out how fast the tools are, how strong the tools are, how good the armor is. I imagined it was somewhere between armor-wise like leather and iron, and tool-wise like I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it wasn't going to be as good as iron, but what I learned was it is just the same as stone, just with more durability. So I made up a couple of tools and things, an axe, and I went outside and checked it out. I decided against the pickaxe, but I made a helmet first, and I put it on for 1 bar of armor, which wasn't great. I went out, harvested a tree or two, killed a spider, and I was genuinely scared that this skeleton back here was going to kill me. He got the jump on me, and I'm rusty on keyboard, so I was very afraid. Brought me down to 4 hearts, which isn't too bad, but harvested some trees. I'm only harvesting birch for sticks. I don't like birch. We just use it for sticks where we don't have to see the color. Made up a full set of copper gear and put it on, realized that it is, in terms of armor, it is just okay. It is half, and I'm testing the axe here, and it is just not great. I'm trying to remember how to turn on tooltips so I could see durability wise, and I realized that it's an okay medium, but it's just stone with more durability. It's an okay set of armor at first, just so until you get iron, you don't have to wear leather, and you can't really find chainmail, so it's alright. I definitely wouldn't use the tools, at least. I'd just stick with stone, but maybe iron or the armor again. But I kept expanding the fence. Hopefully I had enough to get it done, but I got halfway close before night fell, and that was the end of day 4. Day 5, I had the great idea of, since I need so much wood for this fence, that I would just go to this nearby spruce and get saplings so I can make a mega tree and just farm those out and get the wood. So I came over and I harvested a couple of trees just to get some saplings so I can grow one close to base, since there was no mega trees over here. So I spent a little bit harvesting some trees, and then I hoed the leaves just to speed it up and get a couple of saplings that I needed. Went home and I started making more fence, because that's what my life is these first couple of days, is fence. And I started putting it down, and well, lo and behold, I didn't need any of that spruce wood I had, but I see it as no waste because spruce is the best wood anyway. So now I have it, and I have saplings so I can grow it and use it whenever I decide to make an actual base for myself. So I finished off the fence. I decided not to just connect it to the house and go expand it a little bit, so I had to break a couple of the old fence. But then I spent a little bit of the nighttime lighting up the inside of the village and inside of the fence, just because if it's dark inside the fence, then the fence is kind of a waste because things can just spawn in there anyway. So I ran around lighting it up, and then I believe I started to free the villagers just so they can roam around the next day, but I hit the hay and called day 5 quits there. It's always refreshing when you wake up and you see all your hard work paying off, and that these zombies can't get in my fence and they're stuck outside to burn. I'm gonna speed their process up a little bit, but it's nice knowing that they're out there and I'm in here. Today I'm gonna put up some streetlights-esque. I'm taking inspiration from the village. I didn't know how many exactly, but it's 3 fence and then just a stripped log on top. So I'm gonna do that, and putting logs on top of fences is not very fun. Putting blocks on top is not very fun or easy, so I mess up a little bit every time, but stripped it and then surround it with torches, and that's basically it. I mean, it looks a little better than some torch spam, but torch spam kind of does, because I'm not going to put these everywhere, so torch spamming kind of does light up better, but just for some looks it's going to be like that. I'm going to free the villagers. I didn't do that last night. I thought I did. I was wrong. And then I'm just going to come home and trade Jimbo a little bit. I can't get any more carrots or food, but I'm going to put these on top. I thought about doing like the street lights on top of the fence, kind of like that one is, but I decided not to, and then I put a gate in just for easy access. And then I'm just going to go home and just go to sleep. Just like every other day, I'm going to put a little bit of stuff up. I'm going to put a gate up in the morning, but that's it for day 6. Today is going to be a better day. I'm not going to be spending the whole day in this village like I have since I got here, basically, except for doing a little cliff mining. I'm going to go explore, and the easiest way, obviously, is using a boat. You don't use your food. I'm just going to head off this way and see what there is. I spot a mushroom island here, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Pretty close to spawn. I didn't see this ocean temple at first, but watching the footage back, you can see it pretty early. I just didn't notice. So I come into land here, and I'm just gonna, I don't plan on like staying or anything, just want to check it out. And you can kind of see that it just keeps going on back there, and I didn't really realize at first that this place is pretty big, but I wasn't worried about it. I'm just gonna keep on exploring. And then here's a really good shot of how big this place is. And as of recording this, I just recorded day 95, and I went back here just so I could get a better feel of how big it actually is, and that place is massive. But I stopped at this portal, nothing great, there usually isn't, but I always stop just to see, maybe get a notch apple, they're rare, but hit this shipwreck up, just hoping for some diamonds or something, but that almost never happens. Got a buried treasure map, some okay loot, and hit this one. Got some emeralds and some iron, which is alright, nothing terrible. Went to look for this buried treasure map. Figured it was super close, why not? Might as well. Did just a little bit of digging. I found it pretty quick. I used to know the trick to like actually find them, but I kind of forgot. I know you line yourself up, but checked it. No diamonds, but some okay loot. Didn't bring a bed, so I had to kill some sheep real quick, but got enough wool and made a crafting table, made a bed, and slept out in the middle of the jungle. Realizing that my inventory was already getting full, I decided that I would just get a sapling of the acacia, and then over here in the jungle I'd grab one real quick just so I have them. I do like jungle. Grab some bamboo just so I had it too. I should have grabbed some cocoa beans, I did not. But I started to head home. I was going to follow the coastline instead of taking the ocean route this time. Another nether portal. I decided to go look at it just to check. Always check. A mending pickaxe, which is okay if it wasn't gold. I mean, I don't really see a point in picking it up. If it was iron, definitely, but I broke that. I didn't think you could use a gold pick on gold blocks, but I tried and failed. But so this is just another ruined portal. They are just everywhere. I got a golden apple, which is worth stopping for me. That's, I mean, okay, I can use it to do villagers later. This is right by spawn. I see some cherry blossoms, which I just like to have a little bit of all the wood. So eventually I'm definitely going to go get some saplings from there just so I have it for sure. But came back home and went out here just to put the torch down, I guess, and came home, unloaded my inventory just to clear up some space. And after that, I mean, that was basically all I did today, was just coming back home. Pretty easy. Got some iron and some emeralds from the journey, so definitely worth it. Bought some more carrots, but after that, it was just time to stare Jimbo in the face and steal his bed. Started the day, I was just gonna go mine. Just gonna go find some cave and just go mine. I need stuff. I made a shield just so I was a little more protected. But I make it up to this little cave right here, a little half cave, and I do a little bit of exploring, grab some iron with not the gold pickaxe, because I'm realizing that they're just useless, just for stone really, but grab some iron, grab some coal, you know, just have to get all this stuff out. I feel like the first couple of days of Minecraft are always just the same, so, but ran home, had to use the restroom, so I just stood here with Jimbo. After taking care of business, I decided that instead of just looking for a cave, I'd just dig under my house. Hopefully I could find one. So made some ladders and trapdoors, and I put a little hole in the floor next to the beds, and I just started digging. I made sure Jimbo couldn't fall down there, and I just, to be extra safe, you never dig straight down unless you're doing it like this, because this way you can't just fall. So I just kept going. I thought I heard something here. I was thinking it like a skeleton spawner. It was just a cave with a skeleton in it. It was definitely not a spawner. He kind of scared me there. But see, this is where bedrock I'm used to, because the arrows bounce so much further. You can actually hit them with their own arrows. I quickly realized that it doesn't really work like that in Java. So I just explored this little cave. There wasn't too much in there, and then I just head back up to the surface, and that was it. Editing action here. I forgot to record day 10. There is no day 10. It's just simply that. I was still kind of figuring out how to, keep remembering. I have a bad memory to me, but all I did was just keep going under the house until I ran out of ladders. I didn't find a cave. I didn't get no diamonds, nothing. It was just going under the house. But also, day 11, the sound is back, so enjoy that. As I said, sound is back, and I figured I would do another little adventure today. Just instead of heading back towards spawn, I was going to go off towards the other cliffside. Made some iron tools, some iron armor, just some basic stuff, just better than the copper. So I equipped that, and then I was off on an adventure. I'm going to head out this way, and obviously boat again. There's a shipwreck right there immediately. So I'm gonna jump down in here, hope to find something. It's an okay chest, that's nothing to brag about. I'll always take emeralds. I'm a villager trading guy, so head back in and get another treasure map and some smithing templates, which I like. I end up putting these on my armor eventually, just so that my armor wasn't plain, but that's not for a while. This map looked to be way too far, and there was no X on it even, so I just tossed it out. Looking back now, I don't think it was a treasure map. I think it was just a map. Grabbed some sugarcane, and I followed this canal, which I spot a village back there, but I also see this land shipwreck, so went to check that out. Hopefully looking for diamonds. I know I could have probably had some if I would have just mined already, but I'm all over the place constantly. So more emeralds, I'll take it. Love trading. This one had diamond nautilus armor, which I didn't even know was a thing. So there's that. Then I headed towards that village and found a blacksmith, and this has got to be the worst blacksmith chest I've ever seen. Not even obsidian, no iron, no nothing, just food, whatever. I did some looting, found some bundles, kind of forgot about those. And here I am doing it the slow way instead of just clicking on the bundle, but stole this blast furnace just so I had it. Checked the leather workers, got some bread, some leather pants, which I didn't want. Just some paper in the cartography room, nothing crazy. I mean, tried sleeping and stole this poor guy's bed. I decided to come down here and check out this little cave with a village house in it, just try and get some iron or something. I got a creeper sneaking up on me, checked for a chest, there wasn't any, so gave this creeper the whack job and made him blow up. You know me, I'm gonna take the hay. Easy emeralds for Jimbo. Kill this zombie real quick. Back to getting the hay. Come down here and finish getting it up. And now I'm gonna look for some iron. There was some here, but I didn't go too far in. I wasn't really wanting to cave, just kind of explore. So I spent the day grabbing iron, and there was a decent amount of it, so I'm not even worried about the coal anymore. I'm living life in luxury. Tried checking out this little cave. There was nothing. And it's time to leave, so I went up and I saw some cows. I decided to get some leather, nice and easy. And then my first thought here was free leads, but then I was like, oh wait, what kind of pickaxe is that? And I had just enough to buy it, so I spent all my emeralds. And then it was time to collect my leads because this guy scammed me. So I gave him all the work. That guy spit on his brother. Then it was time to just grab stuff up. I was making a little boat bridge here just so I can get through. And eventually I'm gonna move here, and this stays like this for a long time. And this is me seeing some new gen mountains. And obviously I'll get to them in a second, but more paper, another treasure map. I didn't really feel like chasing many of them down. They were all kind of far out, but I'm an old school Minecraft player, so seeing those mountains over there, it is very different to me. I'm not used to them being that crazy and out of whack. So all this new terrain generation is new to me, but I'm gonna drown myself in my sleep and call day 12 quits. Started the day off with another shipwreck. I just keep finding them, and honestly they're not very worth it. I feel like on Bedrock they always had diamonds, so I feel like I always check, but I also always going to check in case the treasure maps are good or close, and this one happened to be, so I do go and check it out. And it was, of course, by the time I got over there, I realized that, of course, it was all underwater. I mean, you can see that the X is just in the middle of the water, so I spent a little time digging it out. And yeah, I wish I could remember the trick, or I don't even know if it's for Java, it might just be for Bedrock. But you used to like line yourself up with the X, turn around, and then there it was. But found the chest, I was standing on it, and I looked, and it has a diamond. So only one, but my first diamond. I don't even get the diamonds achievement because I threw it into that bundle, and I guess that doesn't give the achievement. I don't get it until I get back home and take it out, put it in a chest. But got more of this Nautilus armor. I don't know when I plan on getting a Nautilus. I mean, I still don't have one as of recording, day 95, so. But after that, I of course had a full inventory, so time to cut the adventure short again. Head back home at this island. I saw this weird log sticking up on this island over here. I went to check it out. I can only imagine it's a buried shipwreck, which I will see. If I would have went around the other side of the island, you can see that there's a full ship. But I made it back home, and in the morning I'm just gonna unload my inventory, do that. Like I said, I'm gonna put everything away, and I'll get the diamonds achievement here once I take it out of the bundle. But I'm just gonna throw everything in there, try and just clear up my inventory. Got some iron plus 23 unsmelted, and I'm gonna make a little valuables chest just for all my minerals and all the good stuff. I'm gonna trade with Jimbo here a little bit. Didn't have too much. Got some more golden carrots, and making a chest here, like I said, just for all my minerals, valuables, my single diamond. But I was making a little spot for sugarcane. I was gonna put it down on the water, but I was way too far, so I just decided to dig up a little spot here and planted the sugarcane. It's better than nothing. Figured out how to make bundles, and I think it was at this point I had decided that I'm gonna move to that other village because this one isn't great. I don't really like it. There's nowhere for me to really build a house. I like flat building. So that other place had a plains biome, so I'm kind of packing up my chests here, and I don't end up moving for a couple more days because I wanted to mine. So as you can see, here's what I did on day 10. I mean, just went all the way down into this cave down here, but I came down here, and I'm just gonna look for hopefully enough diamonds to get diamond tools, some armor. And so, just classic mining stuff. I'm killing mobs, getting iron. I believe this is one of those mega iron veins right here. I didn't show me getting all of it, but I did get quite a bit of iron from that one vein, and it was with tough, and I'm pretty sure that's how you know it's one of those big ones. I didn't find any raw iron blocks, so I don't know 100%, but here was a massive coal vein, so mine that up real quick, just so I can make some more torches so I can keep going. Got a stack of torches. Heading down. I know that more diamonds are deep, so I was heading down into the deep dark. And hopefully I could just find some diamonds, which I do. I missed the water here, and then I'm terrified that the zombie's gonna kill me, so I'm just kind of poking at him, trying to keep him away. Of course, I killed him right next to some diamonds, so I'm gonna grab those up real quick. And yep, and there's some good diamonds. I find quite a bit of diamonds down here, so that's a very good thing. I just kept finding little veins, and I feel like on Bedrock it was always one diamond vein, just one diamond, but I feel like my luck was a lot better on Java. I didn't find too many veins, but I came home with just under half a stack of diamonds, so not enough for a full set of armor and tools, but definitely enough to make me happy. And I just started pillaring up, and I didn't feel like finding my actual ladder system back, but just made it all the way up to the surface and ended up poking a hole through into the pond in my backyard apparently. So came up here. I had no idea where I was. I knew I hadn't gone too far, but I see my village right there and I realized where I am. So headed home, and I made some tools and just some armor. I should have made the armor first, but I made the tools, which I wasted diamonds on a hoe before I even had a full set of armor. Not the brightest idea, but I ended up making a new shield because mine broke, and then a chest plate and some pants. And then I used those last 2 diamonds to make a enchantment table after remembering the recipe. I confused myself here. I was like, wait, there's only 1 book. And then I made an enchantment table. I don't have any bookshelves, so I'm really not going to use it yet, but at least I have it. And then I'm going to hit the hay next to Jimbo. Plan for today is to just go out, and since I'm moving, I want to go grab some of the cherry trees I saw all over here on my last journey. I just want to have them because I don't want to have to come back here if this is the closest cherry to me when I move. So I'm just going to grab enough for a couple of saplings. And there's also another village over here, which I will go check out when I'm done. But I do like cherry trees. They're nice. They're definitely different than just all the browns of all old Minecraft trees, so it's nice to have. Grab this lectern, and because definitely got to get a mending villager eventually, and more hay, and trade it to Jimbo eventually. Food and bundles. Bundles are nice because I'm going to need them to move. Definitely help. This village didn't have much, just plain just food and, you know, papers and all that. Just nothing good, no diamonds. There was an iron golem freezing to death in some powdered snow, so thought I'd be the good guy here and go and help him out for once. I could have just killed him for the free iron, but I didn't really need it, so I was just going to help him out. There was a ruined portal near the village I went and checked out, got a golden apple, and that's all I really cared about. I mean, lodestone and obsidian's nice, but I already have so many lodestones, and how many bases do I need? I mean, I don't really need too many, but I'm going to heal up the iron villager that was freezing, just cause. Day 17 is just me going back home and getting ready to leave for what's going to be the new house. So I ran into a pillager party. And at first I wasn't going to do anything, but I remembered you don't get the effect and they drop a bottle. So I put quick work on him and just killed him real quick. Just so if I ever want to do a raid, I have a bottle. I'm used to just having the effect until you die, basically, so it is nice that that's not how it works anymore. But came back to the village and I just sorted everything out, traded with Jimbo, got to restock my golden carrots. I mean, that's why I keep getting hay, is just for this guy. So I remembered that chest boats are a thing, so that'll definitely help me bring more on the first trip. So I put it down. I was going to fill it up, but then that trident got thrown at me. So as a bedrock player, I know that the drops on tridents are a lot better on bedrock, so I wasn't really expecting one, but you know, I always try and kill the drowns with tridents just in case. But I filled the chest boat up, came back to fill the bundles as best as I could again. Honestly, that's about everything I did for day 17. I just trying to make preparations to move, which will be the next day. now that the boat's loaded up, I have to grab the most important thing here, which is going to be, of course, my good buddy Jimbo. And he's stuck on these carpets, which I didn't know at first, but I figured it out and got him out into the boat. And we started going on our merry way to our new soon-to-be home. I mean, obviously, it's not built yet, and it doesn't get finished for a while because I mess everything up, but you'll see. So we got down to the water, and I attached the lead to his boat, and we were off. And, you know, it's just nice, just a nice little boat ride with my good friend Jimbo. I'm gonna turn down the river here, and I later find out that this is the long way. I do not need to do this every time. I get Jimbo up on land, and by this time, I clear out a little bit of water, like with water, but I encase him in his own little personal condo and close him up, keep him safe, and then I call it quits there. So my original plan was to do these 100 days over one big long video covering all 100 days. But as I started editing it, I figured that just putting the videos out as a couple of days at a time, like this video has 18 days, so doing that, and you know, so I can edit it, post it, and then it's on my channel, so maybe it can get traction, so that when episode 2 comes out, maybe there's 2 more viewers than episode 1. So I'm gonna end this one here. The next episode I will start this house that you see me standing on now. I recorded this little clip of me I believe it's day 95. As I'm editing all this, I'm very close. I just don't know how to end the 100 days, so it's a surprise for both of us right now, but that's going to be everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys come back for the next one. Peace out. Welcome to episode 2 of my hardcore Minecraft world. This video is mostly just going to be me building this house. It did take a while. I messed up quite a lot, so there was a lot of having to cut stuff down and restart, but thank you guys for watching the first video. I hope you enjoy this second one, and let's get straight into day 19. So to start off, I had to empty out all my inventory, my bundles, my boats, everything I had from the old house. Had to make some chests up, and I wasn't really super worried about organizing at first. I just wanted to get it all in here, and I'll come back and reorganize everything when I get there. I just wanted to have everything here in the first place, so I do a lot of putting stuff away in the chests right here. There was a lot of stuff from the old house, so these bundles are nice. They definitely have their uses. Like for this, it's okay, especially I have a bunch of little one-off stuffs, but honestly probably could have fit most of it in my inventory, but you know, might as well use them since they're a feature. So I'm gonna head back to the old house. Again, this is the long way. I don't know that yet, but I decided to check out that buried shipwreck I saw that one day. I can see it much more clearly from this side. I could only see that log when I first checked it out. So I come over here and check it out. I had to do a lot of digging for the chests. They were both under stuff, and so I got them both. And I like these armor. I want to have most of the armor trims. I don't know which one I'm gonna fully have on my end gear yet, but I just like to have them all at least. So I came back, there was some random dude in me and Jimbo's house, but you know, we ain't using it no more, so I decided that he can live and that I don't want to deal with him, so he can have the house now. I'm gonna take the long trek back home. Again, the long way. If I go left around this island, my house is gonna be right there. Well, there's no house yet, but it will be right there. And yeah, made it home and went to sleep. So to start the day, I was gonna trade with Jimbo just a little bit, just to get rid of some of the emeralds I had, and now I'm gonna do the long task of organizing these chests. So I'm gonna take everything out, and yeah, it's just one of those ordeals. Luckily I have all my valuables already on me, so that was one chest said and done. And then it was just putting everything away, trying to find everything I needed for certain chests, and it takes a while because I have a way I like to do stuff. Like I have a wood chest, I have a food chest, and then I always just keep junk chests because I don't want to organize every little thing down to the maximum it could be, but just enough that where if I need something I know which chest it should be in. But it's never perfect. I do mess it up a lot, but I like having item frames on it, just so even though I know where it is, but it just looks better to have it on there. So I used rotten flesh as a label of junk, and even though I have a mob drop chest, so it can get confusing, but when I have 2 junk chests with rotten flesh compared to 1 bone on the mob drop, it makes sense to me. So I left that day realizing that this is the quicker route for the first time. There's another shipwreck right here, of course, pretty useless and boring as per usual. Some stuff, I'll take the iron and the emeralds, but it's nothing to brag about. I'm heading back to the old village because I left all my spruce there. I didn't have any saplings, and I planted a mega tree at the old village, so I'm going back to harvest that just because I want to make the house mostly out of spruce, so I kind of need my wood that I left. But I end up just getting back to the village, and I'm going to worry about the tree in the morning. I just want to hit the hay and get to sleep. That same guy's here. Oh well, who cares? Just for one night. Don't tell Jimbo. So I started harvesting the spruce tree just to get the saplings, and plus obviously the wood will be nice because I'll end up using it on the house anyway. But I had to wait for the saplings, got them. Now back to the new place, and it's just a lot of back and forth at first, but yeah, I found out the quick way that this brings me right to where my land is. I did a lot of grass clearing. I don't really like it, and especially on Java I know that things like baby zombies, if they're hiding in the grass, you can't hit them. Like on Bedrock you can swing through the grass and you can still get them, but you will break the grass in Java before you hit the mob. So I wanted to make sure that doesn't happen, because baby zombies can be scary. They ended many of hardcore worlds, and I didn't want that to be mine. So but after that I started a little bit of a farm here just so I can trade with Jimbo in the future. But it's always nice to have some wheat. I mainly eat golden carrots just because they're the best in my opinion. Some people say pork chops or steak, but I like the saturation. I made a couple of books just to try and make my bookshelf decent. Get some okay enchants, only 9, but it's better than a plain table. So I wanted to do a lot of terraforming on the next day, so I got enchanted shovel and I lit up my little bit of land just a little bit, just so that I can sleep safe and sound and not have to worry about mobs. Day 22 began, and I was just going to do some terraforming because I know that building on not flat land can make it look better, but just for now I'm going to build flat. Who knows, maybe in the future I'll terraform around my house, make it look a little better, or build a second house somewhere and not have it on flat land. But just for now, where my building skills are at, I'm more comfortable building on flat land. And I'm going to use some of the dirt I just got to fill in some creeper holes from previous nights. But I just want it to be halfway decently flat. I'll keep some of the natural hills in, but I had no idea what my plan for the house was yet, so I was just trying to make it look decent. Here I'm going to start my deep slate hole. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to hit a mine shaft, and I'm not really going to worry about it yet. I kind of just keep digging through for my hole. I did take a look at it, but I didn't want to go in yet. I just wanted to start this house. So I'm just going to block my little way up so I can keep my hole going for my ladder. And then I harvested some deep slate down here. I like the way that spruce and deep slate match together. They're kind of dark wood, dark, and I've never really liked cobblestone or stone bricks or nothing like that. So I'm going to harvest a bunch of deep slate. It's a very common theme. I'm going to do the house in parts, and then I'm going to have to just, come back down here. So as it says, this is the first time my software just didn't record. I spent the what was left of that day just laying out and the floor of the house and starting some of the framing, but you'll see on day 23 begins that I didn't get too far, just basically the deep slate floor and some. So yeah, I realized right there that it didn't record, but this is what I did. I just got the corners done and the floor. I decided to go with an L shape because I usually just end up building a big square. Even if it does look okay, it's usually just a big square. So I thought I'd change it up. And I want the logs to be pretty evenly spaced, so I expanded a little bit. But I don't really have a plan. I'm really just flying off the seat of my pants, but I just want it to look not so flat. I want it to have a little bit of 3D-ness to it, so it's not just a big oak box or a big spruce box. So I'm trying something out with these logs, and I ended up just kind of figuring out where I want them to go and laying out the bottom frame of the logs. Ran out, of course, so I had to go gather some more. Like I said, it's a very common theme that these days I build, run out of resources, go get resources, build, run out of resources, go get resources. So there's a lot of that. I come down here, I'm going to go back to building the little trim around the house, and just trying to figure it out. I know that these are going to be like that. I'm going to frame out the top, just mimicking the bottom. Doing this at night, I ended up doing a lot of night work just because, I'm pretty safe building the house, I feel like. Right back to getting more logs. I haven't had to go back for deep slate yet, but I do eventually start most days going down to get deep slate. But just for right, that's not until I start on the roof. But for now, I'm just gonna finish framing out the top, and then I'm gonna start putting in the posts where they go. Just again, I want it to be not flat, so I'm putting these in just to. I'm gonna have the walls be sunk in one, and that's something I messed up a lot. I'm gonna have windows in all these little gaps, but one thing I messed up is I made 2 stacks of windows, and then I placed them all in the wrong spot, so I had to kind of grind for some XP to try and get silk touch on anything. I ended up getting it on a shovel, which you'll see in a coming day or two, but just for now it's all these posts. And the long plan is, I still haven't done it yet, and as of editing this I'm on day 96, I believe, but I want to do little flower beds in each of these little window imprints. But until then, I don't really do much detailing. That's one thing I struggle with. Like, in my mind, I can build a house that looks okay, but I struggle with the little things. But I start stripping everything because this is my favorite block probably, is stripped oak logs. They look the best. And so I finished out here with my diamond axe just because, you know, the iron one I made broke. I'm going to torch up my island a good bit here just to make it a lot more safe. I built a stack of torches just for this, so then I go around locking everybody in their house, same as the other village. I freed this guy and then, you know, locked him in his house and went to sleep there. So my personal favorite glass is black stained, and I like the way panes look just because it's not, again, so flat, doesn't blend in with your wall, it gives it a little bit of depth. So I went and killed some squid in the local river just to get some ink sacs. I didn't know how many I was going to need, I just kept killing them until I felt like I had enough. But when I crafted it into dye, it was the first time I've seen the dye with, like, on the paper. I hadn't seen that yet. I didn't know that was a new thing they did. Also, I feel like placing doors on Java is way more complicated than Bedrock. I feel like when I place them on Bedrock, it always places them like how they're supposed to be, but every time I tried to do a door on there, it always messed up. And I'm going to come back through here eventually and move this after I figure out that I'm wrong about putting the windows in. As you can see here, I'm building the outlines in the logs. They're supposed to be behind it one. So I don't know it yet, but I'm wrong. So I'm making all these random shapes, just don't want it to look the same, especially this one. This one's strange. I didn't know what I was doing, but I got them all laid out. I made the glass panes, and yeah, this is when I tried the ink sacs, because that's what it used to be, and I didn't know that these were a thing. But so I made the panes, and I ended up laying them all out, which this is wrong. And looking back, I'm so frustrated. This could have saved me so much time, because, or even if I had Silk Touch already, I wouldn't have had to go back and break them all. But I realize immediately after I wake up that it's wrong, as you will see. So I hit the hay and I wake up on day 27, and I turn around and I immediately realize what I did. And I sit here and just ponder and think about my mistake and get a little frustrated, but I know what I'm gonna have to do. I could have just broke the glass, and that probably would have been quicker than trying to get Silk Touch like I did. But I start laying out the shapes one back, and I end up going through and breaking all these. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna line out the shapes on the floor so I can save some wood, but I end up not doing that anyway, and eventually I end up changing to oak planks here, I'm pretty sure. I use oak somewhere. I believe it's here, but here I'm trying to get Silk Touch and nothing has it. I make a couple of iron shovels just to see if I can get it on that, and don't get it there. Make one more, and I'm only got 16 levels. I need 20 to get Silk Touch. So my original thought was just to trade with Jimbo, but my farm had not produced quite enough. I don't even know if I could have traded with him once. I don't remember. I think I do trade with him maybe once, but that's it. And obviously you're not going to get 4 levels from trading with a villager one time. But after doing that, I just went back to figuring out how to do it. And yeah, I was not going to break them. I should have. It probably would have been quicker. Got more black dye real quick, but I really did not want to apparently, so I did it the hard way, which was this. So I spend the night here killing mobs, trying to get enough XP, and then eventually it stops recording the rest of the night, but I do end up getting all the XP I needed, And into day 28, I started with making that silk touch and getting all my panes back. It could have been a lot easier, I feel like, but it didn't take too long. I just had to kill some mobs all night. But, after that, I'm gonna tell you now, I start putting the windows in and I do it wrong again. And it was at this point I realized that I wanted to do oak, so it wasn't spruce on spruce. And oak is okay. Oak is a decent option of wood for me. I do like the new pale oak. I've always liked the blue wood from the nether, but in dark oak, I hate birch. I can't stand birch. So I'm gonna do the outline here with some oak planks, just so that it isn't flat colors on flat colors, that there's a little bit of separance. But here I start building the windows wrong immediately. I'm putting them in the oak again, and it's right here when I realize that I'm wrong again, and I'm gonna end up doing it again, but just for now I realized before I put any panes in, thankfully. So I start making out the shapes again, and I didn't know what to do with the shapes. I'm just like, okay, big window maybe, and this one won't be a window and that one will be a full window, and it's right here. I immediately start doing it wrong again, and I do this one and I believe the next one before I realize that I'm wrong again. I'm just like, yeah, that random, same as it was the original time. I'm like, yeah, that looks good. And then I realized, I guess I didn't show it, but I realized that I was wrong again, so I went back and broke them and put them one out like they're supposed to be, and went to sleep there. See, just so I cleared out the grass. This guy could have been a real threat. I only had to hit him once because he burned most of his life away, but went out and got some more oak. I didn't plan on using it, so I didn't really have any, but gathered some trees, and then it was just back to doing my house. Today I believe I finished up everything but the roof. I finished the windows at least. I don't know if I put in the ceiling yet, but I do finish the windows, except for maybe glass. I don't know if I get all the glass, but I also want to, when I start recording new days, I haven't done any yet. I'm still on day 95 or 96, but I'm going to start recording my mic live and then coming back in and doing voiceover after if it's needed. I don't know why I didn't do it from the beginning. I should have. I think it would have been a little better, because you can hear my live reaction to certain things. Like here, I'm sure there wasn't a lot of anything, but certain parts it could have used live commentary, I feel like. And the voiceover, is nice just to explain broad things, but it doesn't get the genuine natural reaction. So I'm gonna do that when I start recording again, but I was 4 glass short of finishing it, but all in all, I was happy with the way it looked here. And said goodnight to Jimbo, and that was it. Now it's time for the roof. I like the deep slate tile. I love the way it looks. So I'm gonna make up some stairs and slabs that I don't end up using. I use the stairs, but not the slabs. So I'm gonna start laying them down, and I realized I built the house uneven to me. I'd like one in the middle, but I worked with it. So I take these out. I ended up putting them back in later, but that's not for a little bit. So I'm gonna start just the shape. I don't quite know how the L works yet, but I do figure it out. Here I just kind of expand it across, which is not how it works at all, but I end up putting these in, and I didn't mind the way they looked. I usually do like a more grand version of that, but I wasn't worried about it, especially since they were 2 wide instead of being 3 wide, so that there's not a middle to them. But here I'm realizing that this part is kind of confusing to me, but I end up just putting in another row until I ran out of stairs, and then I called it and went to sleep. So I actually ended up having another couple of stairs. Well, they were blocks, but I made them into stairs. But after this, I'm just going to head down into the mines to get more. It's a very common theme, like I said. Start the day, go get deep slate, put it to use, go get more. But I'm going to give you guys just a little break from me talking and give you some music here. I hope you enjoyed that break from me. You'll probably get more. I might put them over more of the deep slate sections because, like I said, I start every day getting deep slate usually. But I could also do it over some of the roofing because it's a lot of that too. But I'm not the quickest builder. I make a lot of mistakes, obviously. You can see I keep placing stairs wrong. I feel like stairs just place wrong no matter what you try to do. But yeah, I'm trying new things while I'm editing, like that music break. I might do more. It definitely saves me from just trying to ramble on about what to talk about while I'm placing stairs for the 10th day in a row, but we'll see. I'm looking back at it now, and ignore her just for that part, but looking back at it now, and I do like the way that little music section went. So I might do it in the future, but I'm figuring out here how the corners work. I thought it'd be a little more difficult, but it really isn't. It's just this. It's pretty simple, just putting them in and then bending them to the correct aspect where they have to go. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side, but yeah, it's pretty simple. And I go to take a look at the house here, and I believe this is when I ran into some spiders with speed. I knew that they could be invisible in, I believe it's just hardcore, maybe just hard mode, but I did not know that they could have speed. That's definitely something. I don't know if that happens in Bedrock. I know I've never ran into it in Bedrock, but I've also never played. When I played Bedrock, they didn't have hardcore, so if it is just a hardcore thing, then that's the reason. But here he is. There's another one after him. I didn't know. I was guessing it was speed because I know speed's blue, and I could tell he was moving a little quicker. But I'm trying to admire the house, and here comes another one. But I make quick work of them and hit the hay. Well, there you have it. Instead of listening to me mumble over some roofing and some deep slate, you get some chill vibes. but I'm finished the actual roof portion, and I'm gonna add this little extra overlaying layer of stairs just to help give the house more of a shape rather than it just be a pointed cone on top of a square box. And I'm gonna give the arches a little extra detailing, which I'd already done when I built them, and then I just broke them, so now I had to remake them. But using what little deep slate I have left to add another layer of stairs to this first arch. And yeah, I'm gonna run out of stairs here before I can finish the whole corner here, but then I'm gonna light up the inside and just throwing them down for now. I'll go back through eventually and make them look a little better, but put some torches down, just try to make as much of my island as possible spawn proof, just so I don't have a wall yet, but so if I build one, then I'll be safe. So I finally finished getting the deep slate, and I got way too much deep slate stairs here for what I needed to do. I just had to finish detailing out this arch and then finish rounding out this corner to make them connect, but I believe other than that, that was the last of the roofing finally. I tried to figure out how to make this look better. I just gave up. And then a little bit of footage was lost here, but I basically just started putting the ceiling in to make the attic space, and just using oak, and that was a very short and easy day. Start today off by gathering some more oak to finish out the ceiling of the house, and at long last it was finally getting very close to over. I broke this to give it a little bit of depth, and so it's not just flat and the door poking in, but the rest isn't. Plus there was already another layer behind it. Then I finished the ceiling in here. It ain't much up here. This is just gonna be like the bedroom space, but now I'm gonna work on detailing the doorways a little bit, just kind of guessing here. I always like to do a little bit of like a porchway, walkway stairs, so that's what I'm doing here, and just making things to give it some detail and some life, some trapdoors. And then I decide that I want to use spruce stairs here rather than the oak, just so it's not the same color. I don't like colors fighting each other too hard, so here's just more just trying to figure out how to give it some detail. And I'm gonna make these little flower beds eventually, but now I'm just copying the same thing onto the other door and doing all the same stuff as I did. I'm gonna put some dirt in here on both sides and make it little flower areas. I wanted 2 tall bushes, but I don't end up getting them. So, yep, I just finished, put everything away, and that's basically everything that gets done to the house. I add a little bit of like plants. Like, tomorrow I go and get some bushes and some azaleas to put right in those little flower beds on the doors, but other than that, and moving my bed in and moving my chests in, the house as a structure is now done. So finally. As I said, I'm gonna look for, originally here I'm on a mission for 2 tall flowers I wanted to put in that spot, but I could not find any. I grabbed these pumpkins because I didn't know if Jimbo wanted pumpkins or melons. He wants melons, but it's nice that if I have a farmer in the future who wants pumpkins, I'll have them. And then I made some bone meal because the village has some of the firefly bushes, and I'd never really messed with them. Me and my wife played once, and I saw them, but I never used them. I had no idea that when you place them, they give off little firefly effects. That was new to me. I had no idea. And temporarily, I put them here just because I didn't know I was gonna change them. But I ended up making some lanterns to put on the doorways for some light rather than torches. And that is basically all I do to the doorways. I put these little stairs in because I think it looks good. But the lanterns, and then I'm gonna move my bookshelf inside using my Silk Touch shovel, so it takes a second because I don't have Silk Touch on anything else. But I'm gonna move my bookshelf inside, put it upstairs, and this is basically all the detail the upstairs gets. It gets a little enchanting table, and then me and Jimbo's beds eventually. But other than that, now it's time to start the long process of transferring everything from outside to the inside. And the easy part is just putting all my stations down, just throwing them down wherever. And then I started with the chest. I'm kind of doing it by grouping the chest together, so I can just basically place these down and just put what I got in them. So this one was the mob drops. I put them in the same spot just because I was already kind of getting used to it. So I put mob drops here, and this one's just a junk chest. There wasn't anything really in it, but then I'm gonna go back out. I'm gonna get my wood chest, and I'm gonna bring that back in, put it in the same spot it was, put everything back in it. You know, just a lot of the same stuff, just moving in compared to being outside. Usually when I do this, like, I'll have my little workstation outside like it is now, all my chests and all my crafting outside, and then I just kind of leave it all out there for a while, and like I end up living outside even once my house is finished because I just don't want to move everything in. That's why I just said I'm gonna move everything in right quick, right now, just get it out of the way, or else it's gonna stay outside. I'm gonna keep putting chests outside, and I'm never gonna actually live in my house. So I did the thing I hate doing, which is moving chests, but I figured I'd do it now before I had way more, loot and junk to move in. So just taking the 6 chests I had and bringing them in rather than when I have 12, or just getting it out of the way. It ain't much, but it's just a very long and annoying process. So if I had to do it, you guys get to sit here and watch, because that was most of the day. I mean, the house is done, so now it's just all the junk and moving everything inside. But other than that, the house is done, thankfully. I believe this night I take some of my moss and grow it and get the azalea bushes so that I can replace the firefly bushes. I do keep the firefly bushes, just not in the main setting. Right there, I end up putting them off to the side, but because I would have probably done away with them, but I didn't know they gave an effect off, like little firefly particles, which I really like. I want to get the azalea thing that hangs down and gives off little green particles too, but I end up getting a bunch of 4 of the flowering azalea bushes and putting them here. And I was gonna try and put like a moss block on top of them, but I didn't really like the way it looked. I feel like it crowded too much, so I just put the azalea bushes in, and doing the same thing over here. And I'm going to take the firefly bushes, and like I said, I'm just going to put them to the side. I think it still looks good, and it's going to keep those particles floating around. And then I'm going to break out this window, and I'm going to try to use water. On Bedrock, you can use water on boats like this, and the villager will stay in compared to like falling out like they do on Java apparently. I didn't know that yet, so I tried for a second to get him in there, but yeah, he was taking damage, and so I ended up just building a little stairway for him after a couple of these failed attempts of pushing him back in the boat. And yeah, but I realized that it wasn't working, so once day 36 here starts, I just end up building a little stairway for him. Nothing much, just, you know, something I can get his boat up and get him upstairs, just so that he can, you know, be up there. Obviously, I'm not going to keep him out in his little shack. Jimbo's my friend. He gets to live inside with me. All other villagers are nothing compared to Jimbo. He's the only one that matters. Even if I get a mending villager, he will not be anything. He is not Jimbo. He does not get to live in the house. He will be treated in terrible conditions, as they should. But Jimbo gave me a home when I needed it, so he gets the luxury of a home when he needs one. And now I'm just killing some mobs for, I believe it was for wool, just to make Jimbo a bed, but I ended up killing more just because I was already out there. And then I'm gonna sort out all the loot I got from all those animals. And yeah, the house is basically done, and day 36 here is the last day of this video. This video is basically just centered around the house because that's just how it worked. I spent all my time building the house. Because when I was playing, I wasn't really thinking of content's sake, and like there is like a turning point in a day in the future where I realized I'm like, man, I've really done nothing in these days. I've got nothing to show for it. But that happens eventually, and I really don't have much to show for the first 100 days in my opinion. Could just be me being hard on myself, but yeah, that was it. I got Jimbo to his bed, made him figure it out, and that was the end of day 36. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2. I know it was just a lot of the same, you know, building this house, but it took me a while to build it, and I messed up constantly, but I truly hope you enjoyed, and episode 3 will be out soon. Hopefully I can get it edited, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the fun things that everybody always tells you to do, and peace out. Welcome to episode 3 of my hardcore Minecraft world. This episode is mostly all over the place. Last episode was very house focused, so this one is just doing a lot of stuff, some mining, some farming, some exploring. I built some farms. This one I'm standing on here, you will see eventually. I really hope you guys enjoy. I thank you guys so much for watching all the previous videos and all the support I've been getting. It's very much appreciated. But without any further ado, let's get straight into episode 3, day 37. So to start it, we're gonna head down into the mines. Last episode I really only did the house, so I didn't really get any new gear, get any diamonds, nothing like that. So we're gonna try and do a little better this episode. I mean, the house was something that had to get done, so I'm not really super worried about it. But as you can see, I got jump scared real good right there by this zombie. He really got me. But I do apologize if you can hear in my voice that I'm a little stuffy and a little sick. I'm not feeling the greatest, but I want to get this episode out, so I'm doing that. But it's a lot of mining for this first couple of days 37, 38. I'm down in the mines too long. I don't know when the day begins, when it ends, but it's just stuff I felt needed done at this point because I didn't have full diamond. That was something I wanted to have by then. And I found this spider spawner that is almost directly under my house. So I took notes of the coords, wrote it down, and once I figured that out, I had it wrote down, and I definitely want to make an XP farm here just because of how close it is to my house. And its string isn't great, but I can trade it to villagers. Coming out of the mines, day 39. Just gotta put everything from my inventory away, everything I just got. And I'm gonna make an anvil here just because I think it's time that Jimbo finally got his name good and proper. I'm still a little rusty at Java at this point, and you see me crafting blocks one by one instead of just tapping it 3 times, but here we give Jimbo his proper name. He's solidified as the best villager in this world. Right now he's my only villager, but you know, it's the thought that counts. I'll eventually have more villagers, and he's still the best because he provides me food. The others do not. They're just, you know, here. But I'm gonna harvest some sugarcane up and get some, try to make it so my enchantment table is a little better. I'm not gonna do it yet, but just planting some just so it can grow. And I'm gonna end up going on just a little adventure. I don't know if I was looking for anything in specific, but I just left. I think it was, I felt so cooped up at the house for the last episode, building and building away. So you can see me fail some water bucketing, but I'm gonna end up just settling out here, killing some sheep because I forgot my bed. Then I'm gonna make my bed, and I'm gonna call day 39 quits. Just sleeping in the middle of the field like some homeless hobo. But you know, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And so I awake day 40, and I'm just gonna go do some exploring. I spot my first village here. I'm gonna go check it out, see if I can get maybe some emeralds, maybe, you know, just anything really. That's what I'm hoping for. Just kind of want, I was hoping this guy had something decent, but books nonetheless are good. Use them for bookshelves from my own. Obviously I'm gonna take the hay everywhere I go because it's free emeralds, which gives me food. Another bad librarian, but more books, so can't really complain. Then I made a boat so I could leave. Then I spotted this buried portal, dug around for the chest. Had a mending pickaxe, but I didn't even bother taking anything from it. I could have took the obsidian, but wasn't really too worried about it. So I head off and spotted another village off in the distance. This one very based on a river, I guess. There's a lot of waterways passing through it, but this is me grabbing more stuff. I mean, village loot, unless it's blacksmith, you know, it's not the greatest. You can get some emeralds, but it's mostly just food and stuff I don't really need, but always gotta check because you never know. I mean, emeralds are good, and right now I'm early enough that I'm just taking everything anyway. I'll always take the emeralds. I mean, villagers are by far one of the most overpowered parts of this game. You can get full diamond armor from one villager if you have enough emeralds. You can get decent tools from one villager, so I definitely plan on doing the villager path like everybody does, I feel. But I'm taking a canal home. I was just guessing that this would kind of lead into my river. I couldn't fit through here. I thought I would have. I think the boat should fit, but I was just guessing, and there's my house. So I guess this canal does connect to a village, but made it back home, and I'm just gonna, you know, dump out my inventory, same as always after an adventure. This one was real short, but you know, sometimes you just come back home. Here I'm gonna give Jimbo all that wheat, and I'm gonna buy more carrots, stock up on some food, and hit the hay. So using the books I got from the village, I'm gonna make enough bookshelves to try to finish out my little enchanting setup, try and get level 30. I was a couple bookshelves short, so I went back down to craft some, and I come up here and I'm gonna finally have level 30 enchant, even though I'm only got 25 levels of XP, so I can't really do it, but I know that I can, finally. I'm gonna use my Silk Touch shovel to make stuff look a little better, a little more even. But finally, I can enchant my gear once I get some more. But I'm gonna head down to the mines, try and get enough to finish my diamond armor out. I'm just gonna put some base enchants on all this stuff. But I want to finish my diamond armor, so I'm gonna head down to the mines, and I'm gonna play some music for you guys. So I'll shut up and let you guys. Coming out of the mines, day 41, 42. I'm gonna throw everything away, and then I'm basically heading straight back down into the mines. I just feel like I don't have enough of anything. I spent all this time building this house. It took a lot longer than I wanted, but I messed up quite a few times, so makes sense. So I finally finished my diamond armor, and then I'm headed off. I'm gonna go try and find a real cave, because I realized that this is not bedrock, and strip mining is nowhere near as powerful as bedrock. And it's also not, the old days where strip mining was the way. Now diamonds are more likely to spawn when they're exposed to air, so, I'm just gonna head in and hopefully try and find one of them new caves, big open ones. Those are the best. Got what I thought was going to be one of those little crevice caves, but it actually turns out it opens up here, not too far from home. But I'm gonna, just do the thing. Found the mine shaft. I imagine this was the same one that runs under my house. I don't believe it is anymore. I do think it's just a different one with another spider spawner real close to home. I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with this one. I feel like having one right under your house defeats the purpose of having a second one, a little bit of a walk from your house. I mean, it's not like there's two here, or I definitely would. Two spawners next to each other make that one big good one, but it's not. It's just one. I still write down the coordinates for it eventually, but, it's nothing grand. I mean, it's a spider spawner, but I'm gonna just keep exploring this little mine shaft, and, probably just gonna play some music for you guys again, because talking over mining is hard. it's time to give all my equipment at least an enchant. Nothing great, wasn't level 30 yet, but you know, just to say that it's at least enchanted and it'll protect me just a tad bit better. Got some protection on some of my gear, just enough to get by for now, nothing crazy. And now I decided, because on Bedrock I always make this kelp farm, and it's really good for, like XP banks. The furnaces will smelt the kelp down, and eventually you'll just have that XP whenever you need it. So I'm gonna make one, but I realized that I need quartz, which means I need to go to the Nether because I need observers, so I need quartz. So I'm gonna finish crafting up what I need, because I didn't know how to make repeaters, so I had to make some torches. But it's time to go to the Nether, and my first thought was I'm gonna look for a cave for some lava. I ended up cutting that out because I just kind of wandered around aimlessly, couldn't find one. But then I remembered right where I stopped strip mining in my strip mine, I heard some lava. So I'm gonna head back down there in hopes that I can I already dug out looking for it, but turns out I was just a couple blocks away, would have found it. So I'm gonna get the 3 obsidian I need to make this portal, and then day 44 I believe I'm gonna head into the Nether. So I gathered the obsidian, and that was that. All I needed was 3. Slept in the mines. Coming back up out of the mines, and I'm gonna build the portal just right around here somewhere. I don't have the flint and steel yet, so I'm gonna have to go make that, but just gonna build the portal, and nothing special, everybody does it. I made this part a little too long, I think, looking at it, but I'm not gonna go back and edit it, so we're both gonna sit here while I build this portal, and look, there it goes, it's done. So now I'm gonna head inside to make the flint and steel, which I already had, never mind. But I'm gonna clear out my inventory, all this iron and stuff from mining, and give myself some room in case, I'm in the Nether for a while, or I don't know what my Nether spawn is gonna be yet. I could have to dig out of a cave or something, but bring some blocks with me just to build with, and I'm gonna head into the Nether for the first time. Now, it's nothing crazy, it's just warped, which is safe, and wasteland, which is pretty safe. So I do like the blue wood, it is my favorite, but I'm here for quartz. So, well, technically spruce is my favorite, but I like the blue as a close second. But I'm gonna grab this quartz. This was probably enough, but quartz is a great method for XP, so I spent some time gathering some quartz just for the XP, really. I don't get to level 30, I don't spend that much time in here, but just enough to get me back from where I was after enchanting my gear. So I kind of baby-proof my Nether a little bit. I'm going to cut some lava off and stuff, but really I'm just grabbing this just to have it. Because I like the blue wood. I don't use it for anything yet, but at least I have it now. So now that I'm back, I'm going to go back to getting everything I need for my kelp farm ready. It's a very basic one. I think I followed a tutorial probably 6 years ago about how to build it, so I would have no idea who originally made it, but ever since I've just kind of known how to make it. So I wish I could give credit where it's due, but this is a 6-year-old video that I honestly couldn't tell you who did it, but very basic. I know that there's probably way better ones, and that I could use an auto crafter to make the kelp into blocks, and probably make hoppers that load them right back into the chest, so I never even have to look at it just to get XP, but I'm not there yet. I do know that this is a nice upgrade, that mud is a half block that you can still plant sugarcane on. So I'm gonna gather up some mud. Did I say sugarcane? I meant kelp, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna make enough so that I can plant my kelp on it, and this way you can have hoppers directly underneath of it without needing a hopper minecart. But I'm pretty sure I still do it anyway, because why not? Because I think that's that really only helps sugarcane farms, because with kelp farms the water is going to take the kelp to the top, so having hopper on the ground isn't really going to do much. It's not going to change anything, but the mud blocks really help sugarcane farms. But I'm going to make my pistons, and then I believe I have everything I need to make this kelp farm. It's very simple. I've done it probably 15 times over every single world I've played on in the last 6 years or so, but yeah, so that's gonna be it for day 44. I mean, a lot of boring crafting, preparing, but gotta do it sometime. So I'm gonna start the day off just getting some more wood just to have it. I don't believe I needed it, especially not for the farm, but I think I was just out, so I went to gather some. Or maybe I needed it for some chests, probably. But I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start the farm up. So very easy. I mean, like I said, it's about as basic as they get. It's just kelp, pistons, observers. I mean, I've done it a million times. I know it like the back of my hand. I'm gonna go gather a little bit more sand, just so when I need it for the glass, I'll have it without, just save some time in the future. But, there isn't much else that I can say. I could probably make the redstone on it a little better. I don't honestly remember how the guy in the video does it originally. Like I said, it's been 6 years since I've seen it. But it's kind of just become like a, second nature of mine. Build this kelp farm. Bedrock, it was okay. It used to be no tick, so it would be super quick, but now it's not. And honestly, I end up building another farm just because this isn't that great. But here I'm gonna do my little redstone that could probably definitely be better. I'm not sure how. I'm not great with redstone. I know that if the observer was on top of the piston, that it would be a lot cleaner, because I can just power the one block and it would be done, but it's not, because I want the kelp to grow a little bit longer. But gotta do what you gotta do. It's not great, but it works. Ran out of logs here, so I'm using the pink wood as like a redstone coating. So I know, hey, pink wood, that's got redstone on it, don't break. Just so it's kind of in my head like that. But, yeah, it's a very basic farm. Like I said, it's not the best, but it will get the job done when it needs to. So there's that. I mean, it's definitely nothing crazy. Ran into a wandering trader. Got some melon seeds because Jimbo likes melons. I mean, unfortunately, he likes, I think it's 4 for 1 emerald, so it's nothing great. I don't ever end up using it. I plant the melons, but I hardly ever actually give it to Jimbo or harvest them, just because wheat and carrots are way easier to do. This is basically the gist of the farm. I'm going to cover it up so I can put the water in, and now all I gotta do is plant the kelp, put the water in, it'll grow, the observers will see it, and then it's basically just, a basic kelp farm. Like I said, nothing crazy at all. But make an infinite water source just so I can plant all the kelp down. And then you just flood it and place the kelp and it'll grow and it'll make source blocks, and it is a very, 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 very simple kelp farm. I've been doing it for a long time. And then placing this dirt up here so that that current stays running all the way over, so that when the kelp floats up, it'll go down. And I'm going to need to gather a magma block so that the magma sucks it down. But it's really very simple. I'm just going to place all this, make it all in the source block so the kelp will actually grow. And then I've got to go find magma. I've got to expand it 1. Because, I need the magma to suck it down so that I can put a hopper minecart under it. And, it's one big long process. I thought usually I wouldn't have even, I would have automatically went and got the magma, but my brain was thinking that with the new addition of mud that it might be a little better. Definitely wasn't. I still had to go and do the old way of doing it for me. Grab the magma, make some inventory room, and do that. But this farm is not as good as it once was. I think in terms of it making fuel for me, it could be, but I've been living with this farm for 100 days as of editing this, and basically every piece of fuel it makes I have to put back into it. So it really is only 4 XP, which it's not great at that even. But here I'm gonna trap in the hopper minecart so it can't go anywhere, and hopper minecarts can pull through a full block, so that's why I have to use a hopper minecart rather than just a hopper. And then I'm gonna set up the smokers, and I believe I do this wrong. I think there's something about it that like it would work on Java but not on, or it'd work on Bedrock but not on Java, and I figured that out very quickly. See, I make these hoppers. They don't really do much, but they're there. Obviously got to kill the wandering trader, even if he didn't have llamas. But these are basically just for looks. Because if a kelp breaks and it stays there, that's about the only time it'll do something. But when a kelp breaks, it immediately goes straight up, so it doesn't ever really get to those hoppers. But I had to redo it because hoppers have to be feeding into the top of the smoker. I had it going into the back, so it didn't work. But here I am fixing that. And then I'm going to place the chest, place hoppers into it, and these are the loading for fuel. And eventually I'm going to have to double back and mess with this because I have to have a redstone clock to make it work better, I guess. I don't know. It was very strange and definitely Java exclusive. Today is a very, very simple day. I'm gonna add some armor trim, just temporary, just so my armor has it. I don't mind the way that the armor trim I use looks, but I put gold on just because it was really all I had. I probably, if I got another emerald, I would have done that, but this is just temporary, just because I've barely even used these trims. I haven't played much. I don't know when they were added, maybe when the trial ruin things were, and I haven't messed with those, like the whole, I don't know the word for it, archaeology type stuff they added. But I'm gonna mine some coal for some fuel for the kelp farm, and then I'm basically just gonna spend the day getting more coal so that I can get torches and light up my land a little better so that it's a little more mob proof, because I still don't have a wall quite yet. campfire just cause it's for the bees. I don't need them, but for when I do, I can say that, you know, they're already ready and they're not going to sting me, so that's nice. As you can see, this is producing very slow, and because I don't know yet that only one of them is really doing anything. Like I said, that's kind of a strange thing with Java. But here I'm going to make just a quick little auto composter. I'm using Jimbo's composter. I'm going to break my house a little bit just to do it, but very simple, just chest, hopper, you know, bone meal will come down into this chest. And yeah, when I harvest the fields, I can just plant all the seeds in there and get free bone meal. And I'm going to prepare this to plant some carrots. I don't have many, so I can't really plant all of this yet, but because Jimbo likes carrots, I'm going to plant them. And here, I'm going to plant the melons. I don't know. I'm trying to think how they work again. Obviously, they should grow there. But then I decided I'm going to make a cartographer at the village. I'm going to light up the village just a smidge. It's definitely not like I did my island, but just so mobs don't spawn in the village. They can spawn around it still, but try and mob proof it a little bit. And then I get jumped by a horde of zombies that I'm going to put quick work on. And an invisible spider. Forgot about that guy. But this poor sheep got most of that damage too. So, made the cartographer up, got the paper trade. It's a very simple trade to begin with because all it is sugarcane, and that grows pretty quick, I feel. It's, you know, something that just grows passively. Takes 2 seconds to harvest. You don't have to replant it like wheat. So it's a nice trade to have to begin with. It's definitely not great, but it's something to begin with. And here I'm making like a back door kinda that the villager can't get in or out of because they're too tall, but I can still get in and out of if I need to. And I can just open it, trade with them, close it up without having to use the door, which they can open. They can't interact with trapdoors, so having this little makeshift door, pretty nice. It works pretty good. And then I decide it's time to do the cave spiders farm. And my dyslexia gets the best of me here. I don't remember exactly what the coordinates are, but I do know that I messed it up a little bit. So it looks like it's 638 1080. I believe it's actually 683 1080. So when I dig down here, I'm in the wrong spot. I start digging down and I realize that I'm hitting like caves and stuff where there should exactly be a spawner, because that's exactly the coordinates, or so I thought. But I was wrong. My dyslexia got the best of me, and I wasted a little bit of time digging the wrong hole. And I realized as soon as I broke into, I believe I get into the mine shaft, and I was thinking, well, there should definitely be a spider spawner here, because these are the coordinates I wrote down. Why would they be wrong? Well, after I looked again, I realized immediately why they were wrong. So I start digging and digging and digging, and I'm gonna hit the cave eventually. And this was my first red flag. I'm like, okay, well, it must just be under me a little more. So I keep going, and I hit deep slate. And I check the coordinates. I look over to my right, and I'm like, oh, so what are the coordinates? And I'm like, oh. And that's when I realized. So I came over here, and right there, 683, not 638. So these are the coordinates where the spawner should be. Let's just dig down and make sure I'm not wrong twice. That'd be silly, wouldn't it? But I was not wrong. I double, triple checked before I started digging, and I fall into the mine shaft, and boop, there's the spawner right next to my house. I mean, it's perfect. So, time for the spider spawner. I looked up a YouTube Tortulio. I was just watching something, and anyway, a YouTube now I can't say it. Tutorial, sorry about that, about how to make it. Found a channel, More Tings, more TINGZ. A very simple tutorial to follow. I mean, it was super easy. Took me not even an hour, not even 30 minutes. I mean, pretty basic, but it works great. So if you ever need a spider spawner, go check him out on YouTube. Very simple, clear instructions, very nice tutorial. So thank you, More Tings. Now it's time to reap my rewards, and it is very good for what I need right now. It is very nice. It gives me a decent amount of XP, and every string I get I can trade to a villager eventually. I'm gonna take little notes here. My room is not the greatest. It's not pretty. And I realized here that they can still hit me. I don't remember if it was in the tutorial or not, but I ended up just putting a trapdoor right here. It could have been in the tutorial and I just forgot to do it, but this little trapdoor, now they can't really hit me. They still can if I crouch and get too close, but other than that, I'm basically safe. It's a very nice farm, like I said. The only thing is spider eyes. I don't know if there's any use for them. I mean, obviously, like potions of weakness need fermented spider eyes, but I don't need like double chest full of spider eyes. Here I'm taking down the coordinates of where I'm going to put my ladder, just because right now my hole leads into the spawner room. Not the greatest idea, I know, but I made it out of the hole, and I'm going to go ahead and basically craft up some ladders. And I mean, it's very simple. It's a very nice farm. I still use it as of editing this, and I have better farms. I hope to, obviously you guys won't see that for a while, because as of editing this, I'm on day 152, so I'm a whole 100 days ahead of where I am right now. I kind of just got carried away in playing, not editing. I have to find a healthy balance of doing a little bit of both. But I was just wanting a bunch of farms, so there'll probably be a video eventually where I build about 4 farms back to back to back to back to back, and I don't know, it was just all farms I needed, because I didn't really like, I built an iron farm and I used the last of my iron to make like the hoppers and stuff, because I needed iron that desperately. And like, so it's things that I feel like I needed, maybe things that I just wanted, I don't know. But putting in the ladder here, day 53, and I'm gonna split it up and just do a drop hole. But I'm gonna add some trapdoors just for safety. Not that I really care if the villagers fall down in there, or the traders, whoever they are, but just in case. So I'm gonna come down the ladder, put in a water bucket on the other side, just so I can fall down without having to worry about it. And then, yeah, I'm going to reap my rewards again. It's a very nice farm. I like it. Very good. I love the sped up spiders noise right now. I eventually turned the sound down a little bit, but not yet, apparently. And I'm going to check on the farm. I realize that it's okay. And this is where I realized that only one of them's working, because for some odd reason, or maybe it was just out of fuel, but still, for some reason, ignore that, only one side works. Like, I think that the hopper loads so fast that only one side pulls. Like, one kelp goes through the system, and then immediately that first hopper on the left pulls it through. So only that first set of furnaces, that first smoker, is getting the kelp. Also, I made a fisherman because he'll trade me for string. Easy emeralds. Like I said, no waste except for the spider eyes. But, yeah. Anyway, the kelp farm, I truly don't get it. I don't know why it's the way it is, but it is, so that sucks. But yeah, this is me just putting that kelp farm to work. I'm pretty sure I had my computer set to auto click during this. It was very nice. Don't ask me what I'm doing. I couldn't tell you. I probably should have edited that out, but we're too far into this now. When I'm doing the voiceover, ain't no editing getting done. But this is like 10 times speed. And yeah, I stayed down there until I got to level 40. And then I decided just to put level 30 enchant on some of my stuff, just because it's going to be better than what I had. So here I take protection, I think. I don't know. It was way too fast. I can't tell you what I'm doing. Prop 4 on the legs. I'm breaking 3 with some protection. We're gonna check sword. We don't need Bane of Arthropods. That's just the only time we need that is for the spider spawner, which I'm not gonna be down there constantly. I don't want it on my main sword. I don't want sharpness on my main sword, but I can't get anything, so I'm gonna make a little throwaway enchanter. Here, a little iron shovel, and that's day 54. And that's all this video. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 3. I really hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you want me to either do, or I'm not gonna see it for 100 days, but if there's something you think I can improve, like this time I'm trying to be more energetic. I feel like I've been too calm maybe, so I'm trying to speak a little better. But I need to do a little better job editing, I feel like. But please do let me know in the comments if you think there's something I need to fix. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are, I appreciate everything that I feel like I've already taken off a little too quick. I'm already at 50 subscribers, and that to me is a little crazy. But thank you guys so much, and peace out. Welcome to episode number 4 of my hardcore Minecraft world. This episode is a lot of preparation for the Ender Dragon. Getting blaze rods, finding the stronghold, all that fun stuff. Just a lot of making the preparations so that next episode we can fight the Ender Dragon. I appreciate all the support I've been getting on these videos. I'm already at 90 subscribers, getting really close to 100, and it's kind of crazy, but thank you guys for watching them. I appreciate it, and I'm going to stop yapping so we can get straight into the episode, starting fresh with some murder. Now that that's out of the way, it's time to do a little villager trading. I do a lot of it. It's just a nice way to, get some okay stuff. Like I can get ender pearl trades, I can get, there's so much good that comes from villager trading. And when I have a cave spider farm, being able to trade the string I get, pretty nice. For free emeralds, and then those emeralds I can turn into food, I can turn into armor, I can turn into, so having everything is nice. And I'm going to buy these campfires, not only to level them up, but I'm going to start the humble beginnings of what will be a bridge eventually. These campfires are just a rough draft. I'm not going to do anything with them for a while. I will build a bridge here, but I was just trying to level up the fishermen, so I bought them anyway. And now I'm going to try to troubleshoot my broken kelp farm. And as of editing this and voicing it right now, I'm on day, I don't think I'm on 200 yet, but I'm like 185 or something. And this thing has just been more pain than it is good. I haven't been able to take any kelp out of it to like put it anywhere else. All the kelp that it makes, I just have to put it back in. But it does make somewhat of XP banks. They're okay. They're not terrible. But as of right now, they're still broken. And they need a hopper clock added. Not a hopper clock, a redstone clock of sorts. But yeah, this is much better on bedrock, I think. So I'll definitely keep that in mind if I ever do another world, but hopefully I won't. Hopefully I'll stay alive in this one forever. That'd be kind of nice. Then I won't have to worry about things. I'm gonna put a lowly sharpness 3 on my sword and end day 54 there. Day 55, just gonna, do a little bit of stuff. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna make a little item frame for my spider killing sword to keep down here in the spider spawner. And I do a lot of spider killing in this because right now it's my best source of XP, and it's not even great, but it does get me to level 30, and it does get me strings that I can use to do the same thing, trade with villagers, get more XP. But yeah, definitely plan on building more farms in the future for XP, because that one's not great. I'd like an Enderman farm, and maybe in the distant future, maybe like a Guardian farm, because I like Dark Prismarine, so that'd be a nice block to have. And yeah, back to spider killing. Like I said, I do a lot of it. There was points where I just spent a day doing this. Boring for you guys, but it was kind of something that I think I needed to do. So, and then yeah, now it's time to get back to this broken kelp farm. I'm gonna break it down and rebuild it so that hopefully the hoppers, because right now the hoppers just like, when a kelp comes in, it goes to one smoker. So one smoker is doing all the cooking, so it's not as efficient, not making as much XP. So I'm gonna rebuild it in attempts to make it better. It doesn't work. I have to add a redstone clock. I don't think I do that for a couple of days either. But yeah, this episode's just a lot of little chores to prepare for the Ender Dragon. I didn't want to wait until day 100 to fight the dragon, so I kind of clicked into gear here and started getting ahead, trying to, make the preparations to do that. Yeah, so now I'm gonna try to remember how to make a redstone clock. I do it very inefficiently. I know now that I could have just used 2 observers and it would have done exactly what I needed it to. But, I was rusty still at this point, especially when it comes to redstone. I knew what needed to be done. I just kind of forgot how to do it. So I do manage to make a redstone clock. It's just okay. Like I said, not great. I mean, it is a redstone clock, and that's all it needs to be. So here goes. Put it into the hoppers. It does kind of work once I figure out how redstone works. Because I think redstone was different on Bedrock, especially when it comes to like what blocks get powered. I could be completely wrong. It's just been that long since I've done redstone. But now I'm gonna do some preparations to go to the Nether. So I'm gonna harvest my yard out here so I can trade with Jimbo. And yeah, it's a lot of just, like I said, preparing. Like right now, going to the Nether to try to find a fortress. It's just that part of Minecraft. Everybody's, if you want to beat the game, I know people playing don't beat the dragon, don't get wings, but I like to have them. They make life a little easier. So, but yeah, it's just down to that point of the game where it's time to get down to the nitty gritty and, do the dirty work. So, do a lot of trading, get XP, get emeralds, get food, just making them preparations to head out into the Nether. The fun place that is. Throw the seeds in the compactor and then head on in to the Nether for basically the first time. The other time I came in here, I grabbed quartz and then turned around. So now I'm just gonna try to find a little bit of better Nether, because mine, where my portal is not great. So I'm gonna dig down here or up here, try to find better Nether, and I did. It's a lot better than what it was. So I'm gonna grab some quartz just for a little of XP, just 4 quartz. I didn't get too much when I came in last time, especially now that I have fortune, I can get more. And gotta mark the way down to the portal, and then I'm just gonna, oh, this is loud. When you're wearing a headset, that is loud in your ears. But yeah, doing the boring stuff of trying to find. I edited out a lot of what I did here because it was just me, looking around aimlessly, exploring. And I decided just to head in one direction, see what I can find. This way there wasn't anything really, but I'm just going to keep on keeping on, making my way through, hoping to find another fortress. It's a lot of just, hunting, just mining and mining and mining. Nothing yet. I find that when you have a bad nether like I do, where your portal's just a lot of lava lakes, and I like to just go one direction, because usually you can find what you're looking for. And I know that like speedrunners have crazy ways of finding stuff by entity count and pie charts and blah blah blah, but not me. No, not me. I'm just gonna dig my way around until I get lucky and stumble on it, which I just so happened to finally right here. Didn't even see it. I got the advancement, but yeah. So day 58, 59 is going to be real fun, and I'm going to shut up for it. Alright, now back to the boring stuff. Villager shading, the works again. I'm gonna make a cleric using this brewing stand to eventually get an ender pearl trade, so I don't have to farm enderman to get Eye of Ender to find the stronghold. And because if I ever end up making a mob farm of sorts, I can trade the rotten flesh to him. Other than that, they're good for XP bottles. Those are really nice to have sometimes, especially get an ender chest, put them in there. If your elytra breaks, then you have XP on the go to repair it and make it back home. So I'm going to make a little spot here for nether warts, because the cleric will trade for them. He won't give the best trades even after he's cured, but I also am going to work on that. I'm curing some villagers up. So you don't need another wart for Potion of Weakness, but I'm going to head back into the nether because it's the quickest way I can think of to get brown mushroom for fermented spider eye. So I'm going to come in here and then I'm going to plant them. They have to be planted on podzol, so I'm just going to grow one and harvest it, but I'm going to plant it on podzol next to all my spruce trees. I don't show it, but I do plant them. Now I have some fermented spider eyes. I'm going to make some glass, make a little hole for some water, and now I can brew potions of weakness so I can cure zombies back to villagers for better trade prices. Gonna make them up, make a new barrel for all my potion junk to sit under the brewing stand. But being able to cure everybody is definitely gonna help make the grind a little less hard. I can just do this, and now I can go cure some of my villagers, and of course get jumped by a speed spider trying to bring this guy back to the crib to infect some guys. But this guy does not live long. I don't remember how long he lives or whether he dies right here or not, but he is not going to be my permanent guy. He does not make it. And this was just, I was hoping I could close the door, but hindsight, the villager can just open the door again, so not the brightest. Definitely gonna do a little better. Oh yeah, that's what happened to that guy. The villager got scared and spawned a golem, so had to take care of him. Can't be having him kill my guy. But now I have this guy, so I'm gonna try to do this a little better. I really don't. I should try to box it in so that when the villager runs, he can't run anywhere. But I guess the villager can't see him in the door because it's closed, but as soon as he opens it, he sees him and just runs off anyway. So it doesn't work. He just keeps coming back, and you got a hit on him, but not enough, obviously. So I'm kind of running around, just trying to, get this guy put up because daylight's coming and I don't want him to burn. So while day is here, I'm gonna trap this guy in his house a little better. And my zombie is burning because of the hole for the ladder. Yeah, did not think about that at all. So I gotta go plug that up so that my zombie doesn't die, because that would suck. I don't want to have to get another one, especially because the village is so lit up, my island's so lit up that I have to go pretty far to get a zombie villager. But I'm gonna harvest some wood. Just a plain old staircase up the spruce tree, just to get some wood. Maybe I think I might start building my bridge soon. I don't know. I know that I do it while I'm curing villagers, so it is soon, and that's why I'm making campfires right now, because they are a good base layer. I know I could trade for campfires, and I should have, but I didn't, so bad on me. Definitely should have. Easy XP. Not like I don't have the emeralds, I definitely do, but I'm just freeballing this bridge. I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like. So, spruce, kind of like my house, spruce and deep slate. Definitely my favorite palette is the spruce wood and the black deep slate. I think it looks great. So, yep, here we go. Starting the bridge off. Just gonna do this for the day while I wait for night to come so I could do some zombie curing. And this is me trying to figure out how to work the campfires to make it kind of stare up. But now that it's night, I'm gonna try here to infect this cartographer. And as you can see, still haven't quite mastered it, but I got him in there and got him infected. So now I can try to lure my zombie out and get him back into the church where he lives to be able to cure my cartographer again. I don't like that they made it so that you can only cure villagers once. I mean, you can cure them as much as you want, but it doesn't affect their trades. It only does once. I do miss being able to do it multiple times, but I figured out a better way of trapping them. I can just do this, and so now I'm gonna lock him back up while I make preparations for a third villager for the cleric. Yeah, it's definitely a process doing it like this, leading them house to house. Maybe in the future, if I build a trading hall, I'll make a minecart system or something. Some way of just dropping them down, giving them to the zombie so I don't have to do it like that. But as I can see, I got the advancement, so my guy must be cured, and his price is a little better. It's nothing great, but alright, now it's time to give Jimbo the old zombie treatment. So I'm gonna make a little bridge up for the zombie and then go retrieve him. Bring him back to good old Jimbo, slow way. And yeah, I hate to do this to old Jimbo, but I need the prices, so I'm gonna juke him out, try and get Jimbo in. Alright, now start the curing process, and gotta take the old zombie back to the village. Just sitting here letting him chase me best I can do. Really slow. And we gotta hit him with the old 1-2 juke right here, and back to Jimbo. Gonna get rid of that enchantment, then try to re-enchant, get thorns, which isn't great because I'm trying to cure villagers and stuff. It'll kill the zombie or the villagers, which is even worse. But now I got a 1 emerald trade. And finally got the mending trade. Only took forever. Had to pass up on some decent options, and now it's time to... or not. And that's why I don't like thorns. So gave this guy a block and lured him in to the mending villager. Had to juke him around, and then villager got out, and, you know, I'm not a fan of doing it like this, but it's what I've got for now, so. Cured him right up. Got him infected, I mean. He ain't cured yet. Now, got the zombie back in. And locked him up, and cured the old mending villager. Nice and simple. We're getting close to the, not end game, but final preparations for the dragon. So, you know, just doing a lot of last minute little trades. Now that I have mending, I definitely need to get more emeralds so I can get it on all my gear. That's all I really wanted before the dragon fight. I've got decent protection on everything, so I'm gonna harvest all my crops and stuff to trade to Jimbo. I already got the sugar cane. I can trade with the cartographer and now the mending villager. So I'm gonna do that, and then just check on this thing again. I think by this point it's still working, but it was out of fuel, unfortunately. Or maybe it's not working. It doesn't look like it's working. I don't know. I can never figure that out. It's kind of annoying. Got a very lucky 1 book trade. 1 book, 1 emerald for mending, which is insane. But finished trading up with him. Got Curse of Vanishing, which in a multiplayer server would be kind of funny, but kind of useless to me on here. Lantern trade I'll always take. Fire aspect is meh. I don't really need it. Need some more leather, so murdered the population. Put some lanterns on the bridge. I realized I never really showed it, but this is what it looks like from what you can see. Top's nice. I made it look a lot better on the sides, but all in all I think I did okay, but you know, that's just me patting myself on the back. Now I'm going to put mending on everything, even though most of my tools aren't that great, but they're also all about to break, so just needed to, so they don't break. I'm not going to put it on my chest plate yet, I don't think. I think I try to re-roll it. I could be completely wrong. No, okay. I didn't put it on the chest plate. But finished putting my inventory away here, and accidentally started the day off giving this boy an old whap, so now he's gonna jack up my prices. I'm just trying to level him up, get the Ender Pearl trade. I don't know if it's guaranteed, but luckily I got it, so I'm gonna go try and make some more emeralds if I can. I'd like to find the stronghold, and right about now I switched from exclusive full screen, so I don't know if you can see the little black bars at the top and bottom, but as it says, like, I've played to like day 180 like this. It's easier for me recording to be able to click out, so I don't know if I'm gonna switch. I don't really like the black bars. It does bother me, but you know, let me know if it's a real big problem for y'all. Doesn't really bother me too much, but anyway, day 65 here. I'm gonna start making a simple sugarcane farm, an automatic, just so I have stuff to trade with the villagers without having to constantly go back and harvest the ones over there. But so I'm gonna use the new mud because it hoppers can pull through it because it's not half block, or not a full block rather. So I'm gonna just kind of like basing my design off my kelp design, just doing what I think will work, which is basically all you need. And then I hate placing observers. I never place them right, but I realized that there's a very simple way of doing that. redstone when observers are right above it. And thinking about it, I might want to change the kelp farm to be like this. Probably be a little easier. But so now I'm making the collection system and all that. This is very, 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 very simple sugarcane farm, but it's something automatic that'll, help me for now, hopefully. That's all I really need is just something to go on in the background. It is officially stronghold time. 12 eye of ender. If one pops, it's not really going to do me much, especially if it's empty, but I don't want to fight the dragon yet. I just wanted to get this out of the way and find it. So, yeah, I'm just going to head off. And it seems to be right over here. I'm going to have to go on land to find it, but it shouldn't be too hard. I passed it and still past it. It's actually over there in those mountains. I don't know why it didn't show, but kept going down and down and down. Found some diamonds on the way down, luckily. And there it is. Found it. Got attacked by a silverfish. And sat here and just thought about what the hell happened. There it is. And as you can see, it took a while. I think the portal was probably the last room I found. Searching and searching and searching until finally, there she blows. So I'm gonna kill this creeper, break the spawner, and try to fill in the portal here. And if I had a blaze powder, I would be able to, because I am just one eye of ender short, of course. But that's fine, because like I said, not going in yet. Found the library, found the armor trim, along with some books. They were pretty okay. Not terrible at all. Definitely will take it. I want to collect all the armor trims, so this is the other one. Again, not bad. But now I'm going to pillage this library and take all the books that I can hold, really. I can trade them with librarians. I can use them to trade to librarians for mending books or whatever, so definitely taking them. Now time to go home. Got a long dig up. I ended up digging up through half a mountain, so it took me a little longer to get up there, but finally did, and I just kept going up just so I could have a pillar that I could see very well from the ocean. And now it's time to go home. Pretty simple. Found it. Couldn't go if I wanted to. Didn't bring enough eyes. I'm gonna make a little more storage for all the books and stuff I just got. And next, I'm going to expand the sugarcane farm already. Just basically gonna double it up. I'm gonna make another side on the other side. Does the exact same thing. Realistically, I would want about like 5 times this, like 5 of these little double units, so 10 units in total. That'd be nice, especially when it comes to Elytra. And then I'll have all the paper I need, and then I'd need to make a creeper farm. This is me realizing I did it wrong, because those observers would activate and then just break the pistons, and then the farm wouldn't work. So I had to reset that, fix it, put the pistons one up, and then put the observers on top of that, so it doesn't break them. Got this llama staring me in the face, freaking weirdo. Had a bunch of junk, nothing I really wanted. Back to making it, and I just built one, so it was pretty simple to copy and paste it to the other side, and then just, you know, add it in the chests and the hoppers, made sure it works, test it out, go back to the junk kelp farm, take a look at it. Yep, still broken. Made quick work of these guys as usual. Grabbed some sugarcane the old-fashioned way, went to trade it. Yep, just getting some emeralds. Grab some XP bottles, try to fix up some of my tools if I can. I ought to just go down to the spiders and do that, because that'll fix it up better. I don't spend too much time down here, just enough to fix my shovel. Made the last 2 bookshelves I need, so that now I can have level 30 enchants, get looting 3, which I want for the spider sword to get more string so I can trade more, and because in the future I can use it for wool to make beds to go TNT mining with in the nether for netherite, so having more string is definitely a good thing. I'm going to trade out all my food to Jimbo and pick up some sugarcane, go trade with the fishermen. I should really name all the villagers. I named Jimbo just because we were housemates on day 1, but day 180 and he's still the only one with a name. So if you guys have any name suggestions, go ahead and tell me. I'll let you guys name them. Whatever you want to name them, you tell me. If you're first to say for that specific villager, you got it. Might do like 1 name per person maybe, or if nobody comments, I'll let somebody name 17 of them if they really want. But back to getting some more XP and stuff. Also, I'm realizing that the sound is like my game sound isn't working, so sorry about that. But I'm re-rolling this villager for efficiency, or I believe in efficiency. I think I was just looking for a decent one, and I got efficiency 5, and I decided to take it. I think I was honestly looking for protection 4, and I checked. Most of my gear's decent, so I settled with the efficiency 5. And Future Ashton's going to kick me for that because he gets a better villager with it anyway. trying to talk a little bit less, especially because I find myself just rambling and kind of repeating the same stuff, so I'm putting in a little more music. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like it's better than me just stumbling, trying to figure out what to say over, me just trading like I am right now. For, the 5th time, you saw those days, they were a lot of trading, spider killing, but, so I tried to make it a little better for you guys. Here, I'm gonna, just get back to level 30, and then I'm gonna head up, try to get an enchant without thorns. Of course, I get thorns again, so I decided just stick with it for now. Not much I can do. I just need something to fight the dragon with, so I'm gonna go do that. My kelp farm is finally working halfway decent, till I realized that, apparently me in that moment didn't realize, but me editing it realized that one furnace was full of fuel and the other had none, so only one was working. But it's a thought that counts. Making a very good spider sword, and instead of just sitting here killing spiders while they're piling up, I'm gonna make this place look a little less like a cave. I'm gonna coat it out in some spruce, just make it look a little more lived in, and of course, kill some spiders real quick, and back to making it look a little better. Eventually I'm gonna add a little enchanting room to the back of it, but not yet. Also, the game sound has been coming and going. I don't know what happened as recording it. To be honest with you, I think I was watching the Seahawks play, and it recorded it, and only recorded the game audio and not the Minecraft audio. But Seahawks won, and that was their first game against the Niners, like week 14, or no, it would have been week 18. They're not even 18, week 17. Man, what a fan I am. Against the Niners, then that was for the NFC 1 seed, we got that, but anyway, enough talking about the Seahawks, who are in the Super Bowl as of editing this, and the Super Bowl's next Sunday, so if you're watching this and Seahawks won, let's go. If they lost, dang, because that sucks. So I bought some trial maps off my cartographer. I've never done one, and would you look at that, there's one in my backyard. So I'm gonna make my way over, and just so you can see how close it is, right next to my sugarcane farm, right here, there is a trial chamber. That's crazy. I don't know how common they are. Like I said, I haven't played in a while, so I feel like that's pretty insane that I just happened to build on one and that I haven't found it yet. I know that like when you're in caves, if you just look for the flat spot, it's probably one, or like a water cave, but I'm surprised I haven't fallen into it, especially down by my deep slate mine, where it's just a big empty box down there. But nice to know that in the future I can do a trial chamber without having to leave my yard. I realized that I need a bow for the dragon, so I'm in the midst of making one that is halfway decent. And I'm an infinity over mending on the bow, because if you're not, you're dumb. Infinity goes on the bow, not mending. Bows take 3 string and 3 sticks to fix, where arrows, you can buy them from Fletcher's, sure, but you don't want to run out. So infinity all day. So here's my little spider enchanting room, so that I can just hit level 30 and go in the back door and throw an enchant on there. And I got just flame, which kind of sucked, but I don't have to go up. I can kill more spiders, get halfway decent, and another power 4, so I'll be able to get power 5, hit level 30, and I'm gonna go over here, put it on there, and now I have 3 bows that if I add together, whatever way is cheapest, I get 1 halfway decent bow, which can't ask for much more than what's on this bow. I don't think I had infinity, so I'm going to use one of my books. And now I asked my wife for a name, and she gives me the great name of Bo Nita. Thanks a lot, babe. I love it. Back to trading. As you can see, I was down on the spiders for a long time. I have a few stacks of string. And looking back, I should just make another villager, another fisherman. But he refreshed and I was able to give it to him all anyway, so really can't complain. Now I'm gonna get some potions for the dragon, which I don't really even use. I make strength potions here, and I don't use them ever. I did not use them against the dragon, but I have been staying up at night waiting for phantoms to spawn so I can get slow falling, so when I'm climbing the pillars, when the dragon knocks me off, I don't die. I think slow falling is by far the best choice for fighting the dragon. It makes life very easy. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of obsidian here so I can make some ender chests, because I don't have shulkers yet, obviously, and having 2 ender chests is basically like having a shulker. Take it wherever and just expands your inventory. So I'm gonna grab some more pearls, make more eyes, and make 2 ender chests, one for home and one for my pocket. But I don't have silk touch pickaxe, so I can't really pick it up yet, but at least I have it. And like I said, I don't have a silk touch pickaxe, so it's time to get one. Level 30 is all I need. I'm gonna sit here and play with my spiders again. You know how I do. Sit here and wait and wait and wait, and then kill them. 28, 29, so close, so close. 30, there we go. Now, silk touch pickaxe, efficiency 4. Go ahead and throw a mending book on it. Doesn't have unbreaking, but it'll do for now. Give it the name Simon, because Silk and Simon, and I have Silk and Simon both start with SI, but Peter and Fortune don't, so, but, you know, gotta name the pickaxe Peter, right? I mean, guy didn't have much, as usual, they never do. So, you know, he had to catch these hands. Didn't record it, but I got some membranes, so I can make slow falling. And now it's off to fight the dragon. It's time. I found my pillar and dug down, and came in, cleared the inventory, did everything, and it's time to fight the dragon. Day 76. Put my last Eye of Ender in, and now I'll see you guys in the next video. So that was episode 4 of my hardcore Minecraft world. I really hope you guys enjoyed. As you could tell, next episode we're going to be fighting the dragon, looting the end cities, so I'll try and get that out a little quicker than I did this one. Sorry, I've been kind of slacking, but I'm going to try to do a little better. I appreciate all the love and support I've been getting. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, like I said at the beginning, and that's crazy to me, so thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoying, please just keep coming back. That's all I ask. And as always, peace out. Welcome to episode 5 of my hardcore Minecraft world. This episode is going to be very grindy. We're going to fight the dragon. We're going to go in-city raiding. We're going to go for netherite. We're going to do a trial chamber. And there's a couple other surprises in there, but this is going to be from where the last video ended of me going into the portal until day technically 102, because I got a little lost and forgot to keep track of the days. But we hit 100 subscribers, so thank you guys really so much. That means a lot to me. It's crazy to think of. I know it's nothing, but to me, I mean, it kind of shows that all my hard work, learning how to edit, and you know, everything I've been doing to try and make decent content, it kind of shows that it's starting to somewhat pay off. So thank you guys really for that. But without any further ado, let's get straight in to this dragon fight. And I do apologize that there's a lot of music. Like I said, it's kind of grindy. So but I still hope you I do wonder how much of the video I could get away with just not talking. How much music I could just put in, especially this video. It's a lot of definitely very time-lapseable moments. But I'm gonna talk because I know you guys love hearing me blabber. So here I'm just finally finishing the bridge. It might look done, but I wanted to actually do the underwater bits for a while. But yeah, you know, I've just been getting after it. Right now, as of recording this or editing, voicing this, I'm on day like 230 something. So I got some catching up to do. But on the bright side, a lot of it's going to be very easy to edit. So the next video you guys will see is the full movie, as they say, where I'm going to put all, I think this is video 5, so I'm going to put all the videos together. It'll be probably like 3.5 hours long, my guess. But that'll be the next video, and then after that, off the top of my head, I don't exactly know what I did after day 100. This video ends on day 102 technically, but I think pretty soon after that I started building farms that took like, you know, a good chunk of days. So like, yeah, I'm on 230, but you know, days 105 till 135 is all farm building that, you know, isn't, I mean, it'll be a video, but it's not going to be, you know, super hard to edit those days in bulk. But right now I'm using my spider farm to get string, to get beds, to get so I can use them to get netherite, because I think it's time to get some netherite going. So I'm gonna make some fire resist so I can survive in the nether. And I didn't fill my shulker box this time, but just wanted to give it a test. So I'm gonna head down to proper Y level and just hit it. And I might give you guys a little bit of more music here because it's a lot of. So see you guys after a little bit right here. Alright, just gonna hop back in here for day 83, because day 84 we're going right back to the nether. So you know, try to talk a little bit in this video, but got my first 2 ingots. Check to make sure the breeder's working, which there's some babies, so good news. And yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of netherite for all like 5 or 6 of my tools plus all my armor. So I decided to steal beds from a village today instead of making them. It was definitely a way of doing it. Not sure I'll ever do it again, but yeah, it's a little bit more adventurous than sitting in a cave spider spawner for, you know, 10 minutes collecting string. But yeah, I just wanted to pop back in here, so give you guys a break from the music, because you know, there's gonna be a lot of it, because I think I go netherite mining like 4 times before I get everything. And so yep. But day 84 is about to start here, and you know, it's right back to the mines. So And popping back in just for another freaking 10 seconds or so before we're back to netherite mining. I would definitely try to talk over the netherite mining, but I don't really know what I'd say. Yeah, there's not much you can really say over netherite mining. Like, ooh, look, bed explode. Ooh, look, ancient debris. Ooh, look, netherite. Ooh, yay, go me. But, there's only one or two more, so, I hope you guys don't really mind, but I'm trying my best over here, okay? And without any more, we're going back to it. Surprise, here I am, mining over netherite mining like I said I would do. But I just wanted to explain that this video is being so grindy because I wanted to try to finish all the things I wanted to have done before 100 days. I didn't really have like a set list that like, oh yes, I must, you know, do all this. I know I didn't want to like save the dragon for day 100, but I know I wanted to beat the dragon, get elytra, get netherite, you know. And originally my thought was like maybe day 100 fight the wither, but I never did get around to that. As you remember, there's a trial chamber under my house, so that was definitely a thought for like day 100. And spoiler alert, I do go down in there this video, but I'd never done a trial chamber before, so I didn't know how long they took. So I went down a little early and I finished it a little before day 100. So then I had to kind of make up something to do on day 100. But you'll see what goes on, what happens. But as of now, I was finishing my tools because some of them were still lacking efficiency 5, even though I had a villager. So now I'm gonna, finish putting all my tools, making them better. Finally finished Peter with Fortune 3 with a pickaxe I found in the End Cities, or somewhere, I don't really remember. But going back to some villager trading just before I head back down to the mines, try to break it up so it's not just, all netherite, all netherite, all netherite. Trying to make it a little enjoyable, but like I said, these last days before day 100 turned out to be a bit grindy because in my mind I needed to finish everything that I wanted to. Like I said, I didn't set any set days, or any set goals for any day, like by day this I wanted to complete this, but just kind of in the back of my mind I knew that I wanted to have certain things done for day 100. So yeah, it ended up being me getting an Elytra and then realizing how much I had left to grind after that, especially just for the netherite. It takes so long, and when you're doing 100 days format, it kind of sucks. That's why after these 100 days, I'm going to switch to like more of a almost Let's Play style, almost not Let's Play style. Just kind of, but then also, because like I said, I'm on day 200 something. So maybe by the time I edit up to day 200, maybe I'll make another 100 days video out of that, just so, because me personally, I love, just having a 4-hour long Minecraft video playing while I'm doing other stuff. Like right now I'm voicing over, so I had to pause my video, but there is a video on my second screen, so trying to have that for other people. I thought it was a good idea. I don't know, YouTube is a changing world. It used to be 10-minute videos and now it's 30-minute videos that everybody wants, and so yeah, it's a lot of trial and error, especially for being so new. And I'm gonna have to explain something here. So this me is gonna stop talking, and another me is gonna start talking. So, all right. So I went and found a treasure bastion and got the netherite templates that I need to upgrade my armor. But this was at the time all my recordings were going to my C drive, and they were doing this in like the first video, second video, and that's, I explained it then, but they were all going to my C drive. Well, it started stop recording, so I cleared up a bunch of room on my C drive, and it filled up again, so it didn't record me at the bastion. So there's no footage of me at the bastion getting the netherite templates, but I have a hard drive now, so nothing goes to my C drive. All my recordings are on my hard drive, and there's plenty of room, and I've been definitely keeping a better watch on it. Sometimes my recording software still decides to stop recording, but it's very, very, very rare now, and I don't think it's really happened at all until it just happened to me yesterday, so like day 230, but I do apologize for the missing content. I'm not trying to get behind your guys' backs or nothing, but it's definitely, this was just a very unfortunate timing for it to happen. Like this big moment where I went to, it was a full 20-minute clip, it should have been, of me fighting a bastion, treasure bastion, let alone the hardest one, getting the templates. I even got like a netherite ingot there and some more like scrap, but yeah, it just sucks. I'm still learning how to, properly create content, and it was just terrible timing, terrible luck, but it hasn't really happened since. Like I said, day 230 it cut, but I saw it cut, so I just started recording again. Yeah, that's all I got. I do really apologize, but now we're getting back to day 94. So with that whole mishap out of the way, now it's time to finally get some netherite gear. I make all the templates, but unfortunately I needed 10. I only had 9. So yeah, I have 10, but I need to save it. It's in my chest. So I can only do half of, well, basically everything but 1, because I run out of diamonds, so I can't copy my last one. But I officially have 95% full netherite. So I'm gonna head down in the mines, get some diamonds so that I can make more templates. And luck was kind of on my side. Came out with a decent little haul. It was not terrible at all. Realized that this whole time my brightness hadn't been all the way up, so you guys probably saw a lot worse than what I did. But it's up now, and after day 100, I kind of start experiment. I don't exactly know when I started, but like let's just say day like 140 maybe. I started experimenting with like resource packs and data packs that keep it vanilla, but all like quality of life. I eventually get full bright so that you guys can see in caves a lot better. I don't use it constantly, only when I go caving. And then I'll get like a day counter that stays on the screen. But day 95, I wanted to head over to that old mushroom island I found way back when and see just how massive it was with an elytra. And by God, it is huge. I mean, this is crazy. Definitely the biggest thing I've ever seen. And now it's time to take on the trial chamber. So I'm gonna start prepping. Never done one. Don't know how hard they are. But definitely gonna be something that I put music over again. So apologies for that. But yeah, so I'm gonna head into my sugarcane farm and hit this trial chamber for the first time and hopefully not die. But Alright, I hope you enjoyed that trial run for the first time. I know I've done it maybe a couple more times, so I'm going to be more careful when I'm editing to make sure I'm not talking. Like, I know day 214, what I just did yesterday for me, I did record the whole thing. But I do hope that I want to start, but fresh carrots from Jimmy. I have, my daughter, and babies aren't the most cooperative when it comes to being quiet so you can record. I'm sure you've heard her in this video. She's been playing with toys and maybe making a little bit of noise, or maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe it's just something that obviously I hear, but I don't know if my mic picks up. I mean, my mic picks up my breathing and my keyboard clacking, so, why wouldn't it pick up her rattly toys? But I'm going to start trying. I know I said that after day 100 I planned on stopping voiceovers and starting doing live, but that didn't happen because, like I said, my daughter. But yeah, I'm going to start trying, and now I'm building a statue from a TikTok I saw 10 years ago of like a dragon monument, the dragon slayer, I should say, monument. It's something. I've built it one time, and it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, like 2019. I was still in school, but I wanted some way to display the dragon egg, at least. I didn't really care much for the head, but I just decided to do this. I might change it eventually because I'm pretty meh about it, but yeah, it's alright. Now, like I was saying, I'm gonna start trying. I just did, I built a farm yesterday for me, obviously, and it was a good 2-hour clip, and I recorded my mic for the whole thing. So I'm gonna start trying, and then obviously if my baby gets super fussy or something like that, obviously you guys won't hear that ever. Obviously I'm gonna stop playing, go take care of her, but I do hope that I can keep doing this long enough so that once she gets older and kind of understands a little better, maybe she'll be a little more helpful towards me. I doubt it, because she is her mother's daughter, so we'll see. But with this monument being done with the talking dragon head, we are gonna watch the sunrise here on day 99 after a little bit. So here's where I messed up. I thought that day 99, because eventually I'm gonna check to watch the sunrise, and it's gonna say day 99, and I thought the sun was rising on day 99, but I must have checked it right before the day counter updated, and it was actually the sun rising on day 100. So I got a little confused. That's why this video ends up ending on day 102, because yeah, I got a little confused. Found a zombie horse because the column killed the zombie, because it's Mounts of Mayhem and zombies gonna ride with spears and all that crazy stuff. So I tamed my first horse, gave him a little bit of armor and a saddle, and to be honest, I've rode him just in these clips back here. He lives in the dragon monument in that fence because it's the only fence on my entire land. So he lives there. But as I said, I checked the day here, and it says day 99. I don't know if I show me checking the day. Yeah, day 99. But this was the sun rising on day 100, come to find out. So I thought I had a little more time to do something, halfway grand. I thought right now I was just killing time on day 99. I was wrong. You're watching day 100. I didn't know it. I wish I did, because definitely would have done something better than, make books and stuff. But yeah, and this is me realizing it's day 100. So I decided, spur of the moment, that I'm gonna do a the Guardian Temple for day 100, just for fun. But I'm gonna stop yapping as I do and let you watch me clear this temple. Alright, well, I wasn't planning on including this in, I guess, the whole 100 days that it'll be, but the plan for my world is, or at least my starting area, which I don't know when I'll leave, if I'll leave, but I want it to be Japanese themed, and if this really is a forever world, then, you know, maybe eventually down the line it'll change, or I'll move away from this area, but I'll have a little Japanese village-ish. So for that, I need mangrove. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this in this video, but when I was editing, I kind of just got carried away because this was all one clip. So I figured I might as well just finish that clip off, and that's why we end the video on day 102. But yeah, I'm looking forward to building some Japanese theme for sure. And just wait until you guys see. I've seen it already. I've built a couple of things in my time ahead, but yeah, I hope you guys like me breaking my elytra and almost dying there. That would have been a way to go, huh? But yeah, day 102. I might title the video "I Survived 102 Days in Minecraft" because I technically did, because it was an accident, and this is the first time I've ever bred anything in 102 days. So yeah, that's something, man. Thank you guys for watching episode 5. I really hope you enjoyed. The next video you guys are going to see is the full movie, all 102 days of it. Sorry. Like I said at the beginning, thank you guys for 100 subscribers. That's insane to me. And in such what feels like such a little time. I'm going to keep at this as hard as I can, as best as I can. Hopefully getting better and better with every video. And I'm not gonna say much else. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you guys are looking forward to the long video and what comes after that. But I got nothing else to say, so like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, peace out.